imagine that 100 years later we would get a Benito who is completely different from the Benito of Second World War.
The recent Super Bowl 60 performance of Bad Bunny has caused a lot of discussions around using joy as resistance. So get ready with me while I talk around that topic as I go and study for my finals exam. I want to talk about how Bad Bunny used his nativity to use that as a resistance, because the Latin American culture is so rooted in community, parties, playing games with each other, as we see in the opening scene of the Super Bowl. The old people are playing dominoes. It's about embracing people of different age groups, the elderlies, the young ones, the adolescents, adults, and just coexisting together. Now, I know it's not as simple as that, but we are talking about joy, highlighting the joys together. Don't mind the kids in the background playing, which is kind of apt in the video, not gonna lie. So he countered what is known or perceived as all American, asides the linguistic factor that he performed the entire of the show in Spanish. It's much more than that. So Puerto Rico has been a part of America as its territory since 1898. There has to be no need to reclaim their identity as American, because they are part of it. Despite it all, there is so much violence against immigrants regarding that issue. So what Bad Bunny is doing is reclaiming their identity, which they did not needed to reclaim in the first place, through joy. And in the whole of Super Bowl, even if you won't understand a lick of Spanish, you would be vibing. An actual wedding took place in the Super Bowl, that full of DTMF, which won the album of the year this year in Grammys. Yes, it's oozing with politics. Yes, it's oozing with sentimentality, but at the same time, so dance worthy. It's so vibe worthy. Now, the colonial effect on Puerto Rico is pretty much the same as in any Caribbean countries and in the context of India as well, because India was also a colonized country. The opening scene of the Super Bowl was the sugarcane field, which had real people. So is the scene of rural India, supporting local business and shops, but at the same time also talking about the gentrification, which is something that I have also been wondering about. Like, have you seen the rise of supermarkets in every other neighborhood, especially in city areas? And what happened to, good old grocery stores? The short film of DTMF also kind of explores this gentrification that's happening in Puerto Rico, which is reducing its culture. Communal effect that, oh, I will look out for you even though I don't know you, but fellow people, that is no longer there, and this gentrification is slowly erasing that. We are seeing this in the urbanizing effect in India as well, where people are getting more and more isolated. The thing is that we have been focusing so much on the fractured nature of our society that we are forgetting and that beneath the fractures there are several ties which are holding us together, and that is the very crux of using joy as resistance. And it's not all wishy-washy, and it's definitely much easier said than done in such a diverse country like India, right, where everybody should actually get to claim themselves as Indians despite their very many identities. Like, it doesn't matter which religion you are, which community you are from, which clan you are from, you're still an Indian. And this whole discourse, when it comes to the whole continent of America, it's actually very much applicable in the country of India, which is so diverse in and of itself. Linguistic political violence, communal violence is almost sadly a daily occurrence. And we see this in the likes of Zubeen Garg, whose beats were, again, like I said with Bad Bunnies, so vibe worthy. Like, the political messaging is tied so deeply with the beats that it takes people along with the flow and really does solidify the message that Garg is trying to put out. Musically, lyrically, Zubeen Garg was an icon, a legend. People often cannot stand that, which is the factor of resistance. Then it's happening with Bad Bunny, and I am so happy to see that even on an international discourse, at least, this is happening. The only time he spoke English was when he spoke 3 words: God bless America. And he proceeded to give the orange man a geography lesson as he went on to list every country that is in the continent of America, which happens much like in Africa. Like, Africa is a big continent, okay, and it's diverse Okay, the way ishowspeed has been portraying America, it is moving people to tears.
Whole time, bro, they made us fucking think Africa was such a poor country, bro. Such a place you wouldn't want to be at, bro. And Speed is single-handedly changing my perspective.
Like, have you seen Meera Nair's films? The representation of Africa, and it's so much beyond lack of water, poverty, food. It's such a misrepresentation. Bad Bunny's references are ample, they're historical, rooted to his nativity, which he is so proud of. Bad Bunny genuinely reminds me of Zubeen Garg, who is so proud of his Ohumia identity. I hope I said that correctly. Again, like I said, people cannot stand this dichotomy. When people expect revolutionary songs, they expect it to be, heated, sounding like propaganda, and so on. But in reality, it's such a vibe. Like, they are a lyrical genius. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that such kinds of songs bring people together by using joy. I thought I could, get ready and talk simultaneously, but I cannot. So I'll just finish. Who would have imagined that 100 years later we would get a Benito who is completely different from the Benito of, Second World War. Anyways, guys, thanks for chiming in. If you would like to see more of pop culture discourses, I'm kind of new to this, kind of awkward in front of camera, but if you like these kinds of videos, make sure to follow. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.